Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Right now, thousands of Cardinals and Blues fans are in downtown St. Louis. Tonight, the I-Team reveals the safest places to park downtown.
Strong storms right now in Texas when this moisture heads into the bi-state region.
But first, a family is mourning their dog tonight after an off-duty sheriff's deputy allegedly killed it.
I want to hear an explanation why I shot my dog, and I want him to apologize.
The confrontation caught on video.
Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Tonight, St. Charles County Police have confirmed they are launching an investigation into an incident involving a sheriff's deputy shooting a neighbor's dog. 5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki joins us. He spoke with the dog's owners. Holden.
Well, and the family told me that they have a hole in their hearts tonight after Apollo, a 3-year-old rescue from Spain, was shot in the middle of their subdivision. And since there's no way to bring him back, they tell me they want justice.
Like many 10-year-olds, Gio Hansen and his dog Apollo were often inseparable.
He would always come up on my bed. You know, we would go out, play baseball in the backyard, you know, just have fun.
However, his parents noticed something was off with Apollo after they finished some yard work Sunday afternoon.
The moment he turned around, he started coughing and foaming at the mouth and collapsing. And we thought, oh my God, there's a snake. He must have a snake bite.
Erica Hansen tried everything she could to resuscitate the dog as her husband rushed them to the vet.
The doctor in the ER came in. She said we couldn't resuscitate him.
X-rays revealed that Apollo wasn't bitten by a snake. He had been shot in the lungs with a pellet gun.
It's almost as if somebody was trying to shoot a deer.
As soon as they got home, Eric Bacon started trying to piece together what happened.
You own a pellet gun? Yes, I do. You shoot my dog?
During this video of an exchange with a neighbor, the man, who we've chosen not to identify since he hasn't been charged with a crime, identified himself as a St. Charles County Sheriff's deputy.
What was your dog doing in my yard?
All he ever wanted to do was make friends with everybody he met.
What, do you got, a pit bull?
He's not a pit bull.
Should it have made any difference, though?
No, absolutely not.
The family says they've been in contact with St. Charles County Police, Animal Control, and even the sheriff.
I have extreme concerns about this man being in a position of public trust.
I want to hear an explanation why I shot my dog, and I want him to apologize.
I tried to reach out to the deputy in question tonight to get his side of the story, but to this point, I have yet to hear back. The St. Charles County Sheriff's Office has had a deputy stationed outside of his home throughout the day. Ann?
Tonight, investigators in Kirkwood are trying to figure out what led to a shooting outside of an in-home daycare. A man was found shot several times outside the home on Anjanette Avenue this morning. He was taken to the hospital. Police took a suspected shooter into custody. Children were inside the home at the time, but no one was hurt, and investigators believe the shooting was an isolated incident. Tonight, the Major Case Squad is looking for the person who shot and killed a man outside a Metro East restaurant. This happened last night. It was outside Bella Milano on Regency Park in O'Fallon. 21-year-old Ivan Marshall was found shot in the parking lot. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. We've learned the victim worked at the restaurant.
St. Louis public school teachers are set to receive their biggest raises in recent memory. Today, the district reached an agreement with the teachers union on a contract that will run through 2026. It includes an 8% pay increase starting July 1st. Then they'll receive a 3% raise for the next 2 years. The agreement also includes bonuses and incentives to draw teachers to the neediest schools.
Chasing the Cup, sponsored by Car Shield.
A big sports night in downtown St. Louis with Blues and Cardinal fans flocking to downtown.
Yeah, the Blues are back on the ice tonight, hoping for a Game 4 win. Our Pepper Baker joins us now outside of Enterprise Center with more on all this excitement. Pepper.
Mike, and it's a packed house tonight for the Blues playoff home game. Now, Ballpark Village made sure fans were able to get to Enterprise Center safely with a free trolley ride. And you bet I had to get in on the fun myself. I checked it out to see what it was all about. Whether you're a Blues fan,
I'm ready to see Thomas put some goals on the net.
Or not.
Ready to watch the Avs crush the Blues.
All are welcome aboard the free trolley from Ballpark Village to Enterprise Center for the Blues home playoff games.
Took a bunch of shots and hoping for a safe ride to the game, and it's much faster than Uber and way cooler.
It's safer than drinking and driving. And we've been here at Ballpark Village doing some shots.
Yeah, saves me a lot of walking, and my mom. She's got new hips.
Sharon Burnett has been driving trolleys for about 11 years. She says hockey playoffs are always a good time.
When they get on, they're usually pumped up and ready to go, and they're really behind their team.
Ballpark Village paid for the service, which starts about an hour before the puck drops and begins again at the start of the third period.
Oh gosh, there's been nights that I've hauled 100, and there's been nights that I've hauled less, depending on what time they decided to go down. Maybe there was a giveaway in the afternoon or a rally, but it's somewhere between 50 and 100.
She says the ride to the game is always different than the ride back, especially after a loss.
They don't have a lot to say. They're kind of sulking in their corners, but somebody always says there's always the next game. We'll get them next time.
But these fans hope that won't be the case for Game 4.
Let's go Blues!
Now the trolley service starts right up around the beginning of the third period. It comes right down the street there in front of Enterprise Center. Now it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for it to maneuver around these downtown streets to get back to Ballpark Village. Live in downtown, Pepper Baker, 5 on your side.
And since the Blues and Cardinals are at home this week, that means packed parking lots downtown.
If you're worried about car break-ins, you'll be looking for a safe place to park. Tonight, the I-Team's Christine Byers tells drivers where to look.
There's plenty of places to park downtown, but Danielle Harper says drivers need to beware.
It's a frustrating feeling. It's an uneasy feeling, not being able to keep my car in a place where it's supposed to be safe.
Harper pays $110 a month to park at the 9th Street garage. Her car's been broken into twice this year.
First, it was $300 for one window. Now it's $600 for these 2 windows.
The lot is one of 18 places Explore St. Louis calls its preferred downtown parking facilities. With tens of thousands of Blues and Cardinals fans expected at games this week, the I-Team wanted to know how safe those parking spots are. We sorted through 1,374 calls to police from those garages over the past 3 years. We looked at things like break-ins, assaults, and robberies. We found the lots at 10th and Pine, City Park, and Laclede's Landing had the fewest calls to police from those categories. And the lots at St. Louis Center East, Mansion House, and 9th Street, where Harper parks, had the highest number of calls to police. During our interview, gates at that garage's entrance were wide open.
There's supposed to be a parking pass that you have that you scan. It says your name, and then the door's supposed to open. Well, in this case, you can just walk in without even using a card.
Explore St. Louis put together its preferred parking list back in 2016. Garages on the list had to be inspected, sign an agreement to maintain safety, security, structural, and payment standards, as well as ADA regulations. This week, the city's public safety division is stepping up its efforts. Bike officers will patrol in and around parking lots.
Some of the officers who are working secondary, part of their job duties are to check parking lots, to walk through the parking lots, to do things like that.
Major Renee Kriesman oversees the downtown area.
We will have those secondary officers both in and outside of the Enterprise Center, and then we will have overtime officers that'll work and really remain focused on those parking lots. The couple garages that are around the Enterprise Center.
Harper parks a little less than a mile away.
And I feel like that's most of the crime that's happening because they know it's a lot of people coming to see the game. So it's like, oh, more cars, more chance for me to go in and see what I can grab out of their cars. They're valuables.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Just days after Harper's interview, thieves smashed her windows for a third time. We reached out to owners of those parking lots and have not heard back. The I-Team crunched the numbers on all 18 of those preferred parking lots, and you can find that full report at KSDK.com.
If you're coming downtown at night, don't plan on using a scooter to get around. The city has worked with Bird and Lime to cut off scooter rentals at 7 p.m. This move comes after large crowds of younger people gathering downtown on many scooters. And city leaders are also hoping a downtown youth ambassador program will help curb disturbances.
Youth ambassadors are deployed into the field to support the downtown community, SLMPD, and the SID's secondary security resource officers through positive engagement with our youth, monitoring for concerning activity, and educating them on the proper avenues in which to enjoy downtown.
The ambassadors cannot make arrests. They wear orange vests or T-shirts to stand out.
Tonight, nearly 400 motorcycle riders from across the country are spending the night in Wentzville. They're about halfway through their cross-country journey. This is all part of the annual Run for the Wall ride. It honors the memory of all veterans and prisoners of war and missing in action. Their journey started 6 days ago outside Los Angeles. It will end this weekend in Washington, D.C., but Wentzville is a favorite stop for this group.
Coming to Wentzville, we love this part of the country because of the patriotism and the people. And of course, here at the VFW, this is the best food on the run.
The group will gather tomorrow morning at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Wentzville before heading east on I-70. The Folds of Honor campaign, sponsored by Schnucks, kicks off this week. Starting this Wednesday through July 4th, you can round up at the register. All money raised funds scholarships for spouses and children of fallen and wounded service members. 5 on Your Side is a proud partner.
The sewers in the Show Me State are showing a rise in COVID cases, but that's not the growing number that has researchers concerned. Record gas prices are accelerating drivers' plans to get a hybrid. How the extra sticker cost can save you in the long run.
Big time warm-ups on the way as we head towards Memorial Day weekend, but we have to get through all this moisture first. We're timing out the rain chances next.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
A new FBI report out tonight shows a massive surge in active shooter incidents. Shooting incidents surged by more than 50% from 2020 and nearly 97% from 2017. The FBI says there were 61 active shooter incidents in 2021. Those incidents spanned 30 states last year, killing 103 people and wounding 140 others, not including the shooters.
Relief tonight for families dealing with the baby formula shortage. Enough baby formula to feed 9,000 babies and 18,000 toddlers for 1 week has arrived in the U.S. The formula will be sent out to families over the next 2 weeks through hospitals and pharmacies. The White House also announcing that 2 major manufacturers have received Defense Production Act approval to purchase expedited ingredients and supplies to ramp up production. But experts say it can only help so much.
It really won't make too much of a difference. The problem is that the formula manufacturers don't have that extra capacity. So if a factory goes down and then you go to another factory and say, hey, look, we want more formula, they're not going to be able to produce as much as you're going to need.
Another military shipment of formula is planned for later this week. Tomorrow, the St. Louis Metropolitan Pandemic Task Force will update the community on the rise of COVID cases here in the St. Louis region and across the country. Here in Missouri, COVID-19 infections are increasing for the first time in months. The spike in cases is being detected through Missouri's Sewer Shed Surveillance Project. Researchers say the numbers are not alarmingly high, but the highest they have seen since February. At least 7 different Omicron subvariants have been detected in Missouri's wastewater, and that's the most they've ever seen.
They have extra mutations, particularly in what we call the receptor binding domain, which is the domain that's most important for whether our antibodies work or not. And a lot of the mutations we're seeing are ones that are known to cause resistance to some of the antibodies we might have.
The research shows the mutations are appearing across the state, but they're more common in urban areas. The project's ultimate goal is to give Missourians peace of mind when it comes to the development of the virus. Health officials in St. Charles County are investigating a positive case of active tuberculosis. It involves a person at Hollenbeck Middle School. The health department is working with the school to identify students and staff who might have been exposed. TB is spread through the air during prolonged, repeated, and close contact with an infected individual.
Record gas prices are not keeping Americans from traveling this Memorial Day weekend. AAA predicts more than 39 million people will travel 50 miles or more. Right now, the national average is at $4.59 per gallon. AAA offers a gas cost calculator on its website. It estimates how much you'll spend on fuel for a trip based on distance and the make and model of your car. With gas prices at or near record highs, a new fuel-efficient car might be high on your wish list. As Consumer Reports explains, it might be time to consider buying a hybrid vehicle.
With gas prices soaring, it's no surprise that hybrid vehicles are gaining popularity. And while the upfront costs are often more than their conventional gasoline counterparts, Consumer Reports says most hybrids will save you money in the long term.
Hybrids have a gasoline-powered engine and a battery-powered electric motor that work together to optimize efficiency. We compared hybrid and non-hybrid versions of some popular vehicles and found that fuel savings could outweigh the upfront purchase price of some hybrid models.
Using a gas price of $4 per gallon and driving 12,000 miles a year, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid will pay off its higher cost in 4 years, the Honda Accord Hybrid in 3, and the Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid in only 2. And if gas prices go up to $5 a gallon, the payback period for the Santa Fe Hybrid could drop to just 1 year.
Beyond fuel economy, some hybrids perform better in our tests than the gas-only versions of the same model. For example, the Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid rides better, quieter, and shifts smoother than the gas-only Santa Fe. And it's quicker in our acceleration tests, too.
Consumer Reports also finds hybrids often have higher owner satisfaction scores than their conventional counterparts. And if a new hybrid isn't in your budget, consider a used one.
When buying a used car, we say the sweet spot is to look for a well-maintained vehicle that's 5 years old. Not only is it going to cost less than a new vehicle, but it was also designed and built recently enough where you get modern safety and convenience features.
And if you are in the market for a car, but you're not ready to try a hybrid, we put Consumer Reports' list of fuel-efficient gasoline-powered vehicles on KSDK.com.
This weekend, of course, marks the unofficial start to summer, and that means pool season is here. But doctors are warning the public and even backyard pools can be a breeding ground for bacterium like E. coli and C. diff. It's usually caused by someone in the pool with diarrhea. Normally, chlorine protects other swimmers, so it's important to check those chlorine levels and frequently check the pool's filters. Swimmers should not swallow pool water, but should shower before getting into the pool.
All right, let's turn to Scott because we're all wondering whether or not we're going to stay dry this week, and we know we have a holiday weekend coming.
We do, and there will be some pool weather for the upcoming weekend. That's for sure. Yeah, temperatures are really going to warm up. Now, rain chances, that's coming back late tomorrow into Thursday. This will not be a complete washout, though. There's going to be dry time, even though once the rain chances start to go up tomorrow evening, they're sticking with us through all day Thursday. There's still some dry time in there, and severe weather unlikely with this round of weather. We've seen the clouds rolling in and across the bi-state region, but as we travel down 44, we pick up the rain getting back into Oklahoma and some really intense thunderstorms west of Lubbock in Texas tonight. Big tornadoes there. A lot of dust because it's been so dry. They just look massive, and they've been pretty strong, but they've been out in the open fields. All of this moisture is headed our way, and we have to get through that over the next couple of 3 days. Temperatures right now, well, they're not dropping off as fast as we did last night. Still 63 in St. Louis. In fact, tomorrow morning will be a lot warmer than where we were this morning. Some of us were right around 40 degrees early on. 63 now. The high today was 69 degrees. The low was 50 at Lambert. But we saw some spots down around 39, 40 degrees. So you should be in the outlying areas about 10 degrees warmer tomorrow morning, low 50s. During the day, we just think it's mostly cloudy. Should be dry, low to mid 70s. Heading into tomorrow evening, watch the area to our south and west. This is when we're bringing in that chance of rain. It happens during the evening and into the overnight hours. You'll get waves of showers and some rumbles of thunder. Again, not expecting severe weather, but some downpours are certainly possible. Overall, we don't expect a lot of heavy rain that's going to happen really in a short amount of time. You're going to spread out that ½ an inch to an inch of rain over a few days, which decreases the chance of any flooding. Better chance on Wednesday of seeing a scattered thunderstorm, as we see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And then once the front is through on Thursday, you're wrapping around the cooler air, the upper level energies overhead, and that means we're cooler with scattered showers all day long. Perhaps not as cool as what we saw this past Saturday, but still on the chilly side. Then that'll set the stage for a big time warm up this weekend. Back into the mid 80s on Saturday. By Sunday and Monday, temperatures are close to 90 degrees. The humidity is increasing as well. And while we can't completely, absolutely, positively guarantee you a dry weekend, we would think at this point we can guarantee you that, man, 95% of the time of those 72 hours will be on the dry side. 74 for your high temperature Tuesday. That's with a mostly cloudy sky. Showers coming in during the evening. We had the showers and storms around here on Wednesday. Come Thursday, we're cooler. We're still looking at lingering showers. But then there's your weekend. Heading into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a long weekend, getting steamy, feeling like summer. That'll take us into the middle of next week when the shower and thunderstorm chances increase again, and it turns slightly cooler as we get ready for NASCAR racing across the river at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
I'll take 95%.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good.
And anything in the future forecast that shows that we'll stop having so much rain?
It does look like we're going to trend towards a drier pattern as we head into summer. That can be both good and bad.
Right.
Because, you know, it gets hotter. If we don't have too much dry weather, then we have problems.
Yeah. All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Well, Mike and Ann, the Blues in a Game 4, the Cardinals in a thriller versus the Blue Jays, and Jason Tatum simply said, "I'm back, baby."
Chasing the Cup, sponsored by CarShield.
So the one thing you don't want to do is go back to Denver down 3-1. So tonight is Game 4, and if the Blues could even this series, then the task is this: beat the Avalanche in 2 of the next 3 games. Seems very doable. Jordan Binnington up in the box tonight, watching. He's out for the series. The man who did it to him, Nazem Kadri, did get to play. About 5 minutes in, Pavel Buchnevich, gorgeous pass. David Perron with a pretty goal, his 8th goal of the postseason. Ville Husso did not allow a goal in the first period, and he was just peppered with shots. But in the second period, the Avalanche scored 3 goals in about 1:45, including public enemy number 1, Nazem Kadri, who taunted the crowd. And they decided to make Kadri pay. Buchnevich and then Perron jump him and pound him. Kadri later scored on a power play. Perron scored, and right now that score is 4-2 late in the second period. The Lightning trying to close out the Panthers, and the pride of Oakville has done it again. Yes, Pat Maroon scores the game-winning goal in the series-clinching game. He may win his 4th title in a row. Tampa wins it 2-0. A lot of news for the Cardinals, and most of it is bad. Steven Matz is on the injury list with a shoulder issue. Dylan Carlson has a torn hamstring. He could be out for a long time. And Yadier Molina will be gone for 3 days or so. He's on the bereavement list. In the meantime, it's the Cardinals and Blue Jays tonight. And I got to tell you, my favorite Cardinal to watch hit right now is Brendan Donovan. He never gets cheated. A double to the wall, 2 more hits tonight. Nolan Arenado will score. Now, people wonder if Tommy Edman can make the switch to shortstop. What do you think now? I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. is a believer. 7th inning, and this Juan Yepes can hit a little too. This blast makes it 3-2. He's a 300 hitter with legit power. Bottom 10, 3-3 game. Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah, it's a walk-off grand slam, folks. Cardinals win it 7-3. What a fantastic finish. Hey, this is really a sad story. 27-year-old Alex Reyes will undergo shoulder surgery. He hasn't pitched this season. The mega-talented right-hander has been snake-bitten his entire career with injuries. He had 29 saves and 10 wins last season, and who knows if he will ever be effective again. We know Jason Tatum from Chaminade will be. Saturday night was one of the worst games of his career. He said the Game 3 loss to the Heat was, quote, on me. He attempted 14 shots and he made 3. He didn't score a basket in the second half. Tonight, Game 4, and Tatum would not be denied. I mean, he was relentless. If he wasn't doing that mid-range thing, which really makes him special and old school, then he was soaring to the rim on alley-oops. He had 31. Boston evens the series at 2 with a 102-82 victory. So we've covered this guy a lot. He slews Ryan Wingo, a sensation on the football field and one of the top sophomore wide receivers in the country. He's also pretty good on the track. He won his sectional 100-meter dash today in sizzling fashion to head to state. His SLU 4x200 relay team had high hopes too, but they were dashed by Parkway West and their star, Jamarian Wayne. He's headed to Mizzou next year to play football too. So that will do it in sports.
All right, Frank, thanks very much.
A jewelry heist halted, and it was all caught on camera. The unexpected reaction that had them running away empty-handed. Some would-be smash-and-grab thieves barged into a Southern California jewelry store over the weekend. But what they didn't count on, some brave employees who fought back. They punched and kicked the crooks. One even used a stool as a weapon. The thieves ran off empty-handed, and police are still looking for them tonight.
The FDA is warning about a food hack being shared on TikTok. Users claim storing whole avocados in a refrigerated water bottle can keep the fruit fresh for weeks. But health officials warn the tactic can harbor bacteria, including salmonella.
A real sign of the times here. Tonight, you cannot find a public payphone in the entire area of New York City. The city's last public payphone was yanked from the ground today. There are now kiosks throughout the 5 boroughs which offer free charging and Wi-Fi. I feel bad for there's people out there that don't have cell phones. There has to be, right?
There's probably a few.
Yeah.
Does this mean I have to trade in my rotary dial phone at home?
That's an antique.
Yeah.
It's probably worth something.
eBay. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Guests tonight, Rachel Dratch and Sadie Sink. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4:30 a.m. Have a great Tuesday.